Hello. Yes, I can.
I don't have a camera today.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Is it just chat?
Yes, I will type it in the chat. Yeah, and I'm catching up with the so-called the missing one, which is the other reflective, and then that little research journal article one from last Friday. I need to finish that. I got catch up with the missing two. Yeah, and that one for this Friday. Yes, and it seems like it's only 3 chapters.
Yeah, chapter 9, 12. So there's the journal article.
Not really yet. I need a so-called what I really finished as of early yesterday. I like finished everything for that major paper. I added my research into that. That one is all done. So right now, what I have left to do is like maybe that other reflective one for that chapter 4 to 7, and this one for this Friday, that 3 chapters, and then the other one due last Friday, that journal article to, to
Okay, so
finish.
you said let me write this down. So the journal article review you need to finish.
Yeah, the research one, yes. I need to finish that one. And then this for the reflective, those chapters, I need to do that too.
Like journal. Is that all?
Yeah, it should be these three are the one, and then the final for the week after next. It's just these assignments to catch up with at the moment and finish. Yes.
Do you have any other?
I turned like for that parent newsletter one, I turned that one in when she have graded everything, so that one I have to wait for the grade. Well, the only thing I have graded at the moment will be the quizzes, the first three, the first two discussion posts, one of the reflective, and that would be all. And then those other ones are missing. Yeah. The article one, the first one for the toddler infant, that one I turned it in like a few weeks late, I think. Few days, a few weeks, 2 weeks late, I think. And then the newsletter one too, about 2 weeks ish late too. So I'm waiting for those to like, yeah, I'm catching up with the assignments at the moment too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one did you want to work on today?
I think I'm still struggling with is this reflective, like those journals. Like, I know I'm supposed to like find those stuff for it, but I still don't get what she's trying to. Because I did have I so called she said I was too informative from what I have last time. From that first one I turned it was too informative.
Okay.
Yeah. The way I had my first one was too informative.
Okay.
Too informative. I think it was just I didn't have those other parts. I have so called my yeah, not the one where I have to move. Yeah, I was too informative.
So what did you like?
Okay, I can share you that first one again. Yes, I can share that. No. Yeah, there's a very the only like little feedback on this little paper, that first one, it was like very informative. You were expected to reflect on your learning of the main ideas. That's what I got the minus some points off for. That's what she had said for that first one I had done. Yeah, that was really the only comment she made on that one. On this first one I turned in, that was really the only comment I saw from this paper. Yeah, only that comment, that one comment right there at the very end of this paper was that comment. It was too informative, and then I was supposed to connect it. Yeah.
So you can read me this one and I can see what exactly they can improve with next.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. So called in this first paragraph is the summary of it. I think it's like when I start reading it's writing my main ideas of each chapter. That's where. Okay. The first main idea I got from chapter one is that the written and oral language children use to communicate with each other is considered to be cumulative competencies. Since I don't know the name of the oral written language, it was called a form of language competency. This quote, as you read books to and with children, you will introduce the children to new vocabulary as well as written language. This quote from the textbook is interesting since I know that vocabulary is introduced to children, and the part about written language is the words on the page of the stories. Since words in the story are seen and read out loud by parents and teachers, children get the chance to interact with the words and pictures on each page of the book. The lead teacher will tell me to read books to the children in the classroom during circle time. And when everything else is all done by other teachers in the classroom, which includes the classroom and the toys that are already cleaned. So I will be reading a book to the children, and they will be pointing to the pictures in the book and interacting with the pictures on the page. That's one of the paragraphs. I think most of my little paragraphs are the same idea as how I have this first little main idea in the chapter one. I know, I think I was missing that one point of the thing I need for it.
You do have a main idea.
Yes.
Um,
It's just one, so-called, there's 4 things I need for each paragraph, right? For these, like 4 points, something.
I think it's 3 to 4.
Is that, I think I don't have is, I do have my connection. What is it I'm missing from it? Because it seems like I'm too informative in some reason, some way. It's too informative. Which of those, like, so-called 3 little things from the 3 to 4 main points am I really missing? It seems that I'm meeting those points, but I'm too informative.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think. Okay, so I'll read you one of
Yes.
mine,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll help.
Okay.
I mean, I also struggled with this.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe example would be better.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll do this one because. Okay, so mine for reflective journal 1, I chose 3 main ideas.
Mm-hmm.
My 3 main ideas were 5 aspects of language. So I'll read you that main idea. In chapter 1, there are many ideas covered. However, one of the main important ideas to cover is the 5 different aspects of language. 5 different aspects of language are phonological, semantic, synaptic, phonemic, and pragmatic. These 5 aspects of language can be learned in a variety of ways. They have to be learned all at the same time because they go hand in hand. Firstly, let us discuss the definition for each one. Phonology is the knowledge of sound and symbol relations. Semantic is the aspect of language knowledge that involves words, meaning, and vocabulary. Syntax is the knowledge of how words can be combined into meaningful sentences. Phonemic is word structure. Lastly, pragmatic is how language is used in different settings and purposes. These 5 aspects of language are essential for a child to learn because it is one of the ways a child learns how to communicate effectively. For example, if a child does not understand or have knowledge of syntax, they will not be able to create meaningful sentences. It would be difficult for that children to communicate with family, friends, and peers. When volunteering at a daycare, we practice the 5 aspects of language. Since the children are different ages, each child has different skill levels. However, we ensure that the kids are practicing their communication. For example, we do a lot of pretend play, which can help with the child's pragmatic skills. The children will be able to practice different language and vocabulary that fits the pretend play setting. So you got the right idea of like starting off explaining what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to reflect on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I explained it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I reflected on it. Why did I think the 5 aspects of language was so important to write about it? So I said it would, for example, if a child does not understand or have knowledge of the 5 aspects of language, they're not going to be able to communicate with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so important for children to know and learn these aspects of language. So I think that's what she's really looking for more. You started off fine with saying that the main idea I got from chapter 1 is that written and oral language children use to communicate each other is considered a communicative competency. Mm-hmm. And then that's your main idea. Mm-hmm. But why do you think that's important?
Like, explain why it's important.
Mm-hmm. Why did you think it was so important that you wrote about it? Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's important written or language that children use to communicate is considered communicative competence.
Also, that was maybe why. Yeah.
So since you already graded this one, you can make that improvement in this one that's coming up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then there still has to be the 3 or 4 main ideas from these 3, chapter 9, 12, and 14.
Yeah. So we could start off like the ideas.
Yeah, okay. Mm. Um, mm, um, I don't think main idea for each chapter yet.
Okay, so we can start off with chapter 9. So chapter 9 is enhancing the language development of kindergartens. So what did you read from chapter 9 that stood out to you?
Just um I so-called wrote some stuff. I'm not sure is it really in the little chapter 9. Um think I have written. I'm not sure if it's in the chapter 9 because I didn't really read the chapter yet. This is what I have so far for it. Some of my little stuff I ran. Not sure if it's in the chapter. I have written that kindergarten's ability to communicate is more advanced than preschoolers. Kindergarten's kids are able to write their names and dress themselves. Um, they are also able to sound out the words with each letter. They're able to say longer sentences. The sentence they say and write will have some misspelled words and letters, written backwards. Um, Kindergarten students would need extra practice when it comes to sounding out words. They would most likely want just to color instead of practice the sound of different practice the different sounds they learned in the lesson before the group work. Those are some of the stuff I have. I'm not sure if it's really in the chapter. The stuff I have here. Yes.
Grab that from your textbook.
Some of this stuff is what I saw when I was in a clinical during the summers with my TESOL. That's what I saw. They're like kindergarten turned to first graders. This is what I saw from some of them. Like what I saw was like those sounding out the words stuff. Yeah.
Have you read chapter 9?
I kind of looked at it. I need to look at it again. Yeah, I am trying to look at it. Chapter 9. Chapter 9. Yeah, from that little part I saw in the little learning outcome, it seems like that's what it is, kind of like too. Um, yeah.
Do you have your textbook open and everything?
Yes. Yeah. I'm looking at the so-called the first page of that chapter 9. It does seems like some of this stuff I have here is kind of what this is maybe about too. Yeah.
Go to the end of the chapter where it says like chapter summary.
Okay. Mm, okay. Yes, I am there.
Okay. So can you read the paragraph or do you want to, is it on your computer?
I'm using my phone for it right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, can you read the chapter summary or like the conclusion?
They're like mostly these are these are summaries of each section somehow. For the first bullet point, this wrote provide an overview of kindergarten curricula and language goals. In some settings, the kindergarten curriculum emphasizes a strong hands-on, independent activity approach that is not closely aligned to the curriculum in the primary grades. In other settings, the curriculum in kindergarten is closely tied to the formal school curriculum and includes more teacher-directed activities along with beginning reading instruction. Language goals in kindergarten focus on enhancing development of receptive and expressive oral and written language knowledge. That's one of them. The second one is to explain how independent activities can enhance kindergarten language development. Independent activities provide opportunities for kindergarteners to engage in informal learning that is experimental and hands-on. This provides a setting in which children's oral language competencies are enhanced through concept and verbal vocabulary development as well as social interaction and using language to communicate with classmates and their teachers. Written language competency are also enhanced in learning centers such as message center, classroom, library, media center, and science center. Then there's two more. There's four more here. Identifying specific teacher-directed activities that will enhance kindergartner language development. Teacher-directed activities that enhance kindergarten's language development include share talk, word study, interactive book sharing, book-based extension activities, dedicated writing, and morning message. These activities provide opportunity to enhance child's listening comprehension, vocabulary, phonological awareness, and expressive language, as well as literacy-related concepts. Summarize how routine activities can enhance language development among kindergartners. Children routines provide opportunities to enhance children's pragmatic knowledge of how language is used in different settings as well as their receptive and expressive competencies related to participating in social interaction at school. When arrival routines involve recognizing their names as well as their classmates in print, children begin to develop word recognition as well as focus on the ways that alphabet letters represent the sound and names. Describe strategies that teachers can use to foster positive connection with children's families. Teacher can foster positive connection with children's families by reaching out to them to provide information as well as resources families can use at home. Book bags filled with familiar books and blank journals that will extend children's experience with books and can be provided to take home. Family literacy activity packs to also provide literacy activities as well as opportunities for book-related experience. Providing a periodic reader-friendly newsletter on the classroom webpage and in paper copy also can foster positive connection with families through communicating timely information about classroom learning activities. List guidelines for teachers to follow when interacting with English language learners in kindergarten. When interacting with kindergartners who are English language learners, it is important for teachers to provide time and opportunity for meaningful talk. Take time for one-on-one conversation. Provide a welcoming environment that welcomes children's emerging English competencies, knowledge, and build upon children's prior knowledge and experience, and provide content-rich, engaging activities. Those are like the 6, I think.
So it gave you a big summary of
Yes.
what the chapter was about.
Mhm.
From that summary, what are 3 or 4 ideas you want to learn more about, or you thought were important and you want to write about them?
It seems like the last point of the English learners, that one seems interesting, that language learner one.
You can do the English learners one. What other ones?
Um, there's that little point about their teacher-directed activities that will like develop their language, help develop their language. The teacher-directed activities, that section. With their little.
You can talk about the different teacher-directed activities you can do with students.
Okay. Yes. And then that's their 4th little point about like they're summarizing how their routines can enhance language development among kindergartens, where there's so-called about recognizing the sounds, I think this was in the pragmatic. So yeah, this pragmatic is the sounds, recognizing the sounds.
Is that what category is under that one? That one under
the so-called little bullet point is to summarize how routine activities can enhance the language development among kindergarteners.
So you want to talk about the routines that routine is important?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that one. Okay. Was there another one, or do you want to just stick with 3?
Mm. There's a quote that said, there that little second bullet point about how they're little independent activities too.
Okay. Independent activities they can do. Okay. The main ideas you want about when you read the chapter, focus on the main ideas.
Okay. Yes.
So for the first one, it's or ELL student. Oh, you can flip to that page. I don't know what page.
Yeah, that's like just a few more pages ahead, I think. 291, I think it might be. It might be that page. Yeah, it's a guidelines for kindergarten teachers of English language learners. I think that one.
You can read that one aloud.
It's so called one. About 3 pages and with a lot of text.
Okay, that's okay. You can read it out.
Okay. Although your school may have special programs for language learner, children who are learning English as a second language may be placed in your kindergarten classroom for part of the school day. If your school does not have a separate resource room or program for English language learners, you will have these students immersed in your regular classroom, a kindergarten classroom. And then there's a chart. In addition, using the interaction strategies just discussed, you will find the following guidelines useful when interacting with kindergartens who are English language learners. Please, number 1, provide time and opportunities for meaningful talk. Encourage children to talk with each other during the informal, independent activities in your classroom, such as during learning center activities in the writing center and in the classroom, in the class library. This provides the opportunity for children to use language to develop social relation and share their ideas and experience with each other. Number 2, take time for one-on-one conversation with children during independent activity. In doing this, you can talk with children about their current activity and provide the linguistic scaffolding needed to support their oral communication. This also allows you to better acquainted with each children and learning about his or her interests and experiences. Provide a welcoming environment where children can try out communicating in English, because children who are learning another language and experience a silent period during which time their listening comprehension in their new language develops. Is important to provide a learning environment where they can develop their listening comprehension and begin to communicate in English using simple words and phrases. This means that you can monitor their listening comprehension by closely observing their nonverbal behavior, eye contact, facial gestures. If you sense that they want to respond to a question or make a comment, support their efforts to speak by providing an ample wait at time and active listening. Acknowledge and build upon the children's prior knowledge and experience. For example, you find that one of your English learners is involved in playing soccer or another sport, provide opportunities for that child to talk about his experience. Also, encourage him to write and illustrate a story about a recent game. Provide books in the classroom related to the children's sport or other activities. Also, build on their prior knowledge and experience. Provide content-rich, engaging activities. Direct experience are important for concept development and vocabulary by providing activities, creating an authentic context for children learning. Wherever possible, use real artifacts, objects, and props to accompany these learning activities. For example, after reading popcorn or popcorn book, take time to show how to make popcorn in classroom. First, show children the individual kernel and an ear of corn if possible, while talking about the way the kernel will expand when heated and then burst open. And use a popcorn maker that allows children to actually see the popcorn popping. You will want to provide opportunity for children to taste the corn as well. Yeah.
Okay, so from that section, what did you learn about supporting kindergarten ELL students?
It seems like they're really just maybe interacting more, try to interact and have the kid immersed in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that can be like your summary of the main point. That can be like a couple of sentences. And then why do you think it's important to support the kindergarten student whose first language isn't English? Why did you think it was important to talk about?
Why is it important? I think it's important because there's many like students that are like English learners that be coming into the classroom not every day, but like almost most of the time there be new little students who are English learners.
Right, it's important because you want, like, there's a lot of them sometimes, and you don't want to exclude them. You want to make them feel included, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can maybe touch base on that. And then, how does this relate to you work in childcare, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems this one it is not really like I don't see this really, but actually I kind of do, but yeah, for them they try to because most of the time we're speaking to those little kids in English. And their parents, a few of them speak Spanish. There is a Spanish teacher, but most of the time she'd be coming in later in the afternoon. Like the communication for some of the parents in the morning would be kind of hard. We have to have a translator teacher to translate in the afternoon to tell them what happened, like about their day, and if they need more diapers and wipes. So like it's not really but the communicating. It's kind of hard to communicate with these for some of the parents too.
Yeah. What about the kids though? Like, what do you do, or what does your care center do to help those kids that Whose first language isn't English?
We just mostly just talk to them in English. Yeah.
And do they understand?
I don't know. They somehow would react, but most of the time they won't really react.
Okay. So you can write about how like in your care center you talk to them in English and that you do have a translator. Um, but you can also write about things that you would like to do to help them even more.
I think maybe like try to have that teacher also in the morning. So like if there is those teachers, the parents that need to communicate with the teachers, there is a teacher.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. What else would I have to add? Would that be enough? Like,
So you did the main idea. You like are gonna write a summary.
yes.
You're gonna write about why was it important,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna write like how you can relate to it. I think you covered all the points.
Mm-hmm.
When you are writing it though, just be uh, detailed and but not too detailed.
You
So
think
make
it
sure
was too detailed? That's why this first one was informative,
yeah,
right? Too detailed. I had too detailed.
yeah. So maybe like if you're gonna write about ESL, just briefly talk about what the text suggested. Can't remember on the top of my head, but you can go back and
Mm-hmm.
talk about a little bit what the chapter talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're talking about why, be really reflective on why you think it's
Oh, okay.
important. And then you can do the same with the other four.
Yes.
They don't have to be like long paragraphs. They can be like 10 sentences or more.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why it was like too informative. Maybe the paragraphs was too much for the when I was explaining my little example, which I think would be it's too informative.
So what we just did for the ESL,
Mm-hmm.
like we read the chapter and then we wrote like a summary and then why reflect. You're gonna do the same with the other one. So
Yeah.
you're gonna do the same with the teacher directed activities, with the routines that help with language and the independent activities.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have chapter 9. And then you're gonna do chapter 12 and
14.
14. And then are we meeting again on
Yeah, on Friday.
oh, on Friday we'll go over your points for each chapter. I would like for you to have your main ideas and kind of like mostly an outline of everything for each chapter so we can, you know,
You think I would need to do it like how I did for that first one? That would the intro and the summary. There's too much for the intro.
Maybe you don't need an intro.
It was too much to like even correct the intro. Maybe just the conclusion then.
Have to do a conclusion either.
Because I think like when I did this first one, oh, actually I didn't have a conclusion. I just wrote the paragraph.
I think you should be fine without the intro.
Okay.
But yeah, I want you to have those done for
Yeah.
our next session.
Yes. Okay.
We are on time. But was there anything else you wanted to do?
I think it's really just with this assignment. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna write our. So what do you think we worked on today? What would you say?
You kind of helped me get a better understanding of what I was kind of missing-ish from the when I first did this little assignment. Yeah. Um, yeah. You helped me with that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'll see you Friday.
Oh, yeah. See you. Bye.
Mindy!
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's been a bad computer day.
Yeah. I was in another session that ended like a bit longer today.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't get in for a long time.
Oh,
You
you
ever-
couldn't get in? Is that why I got a phone call? Maybe from Christina or something?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I just wanted to I wanted her to let you know that I just couldn't get in to see you.
Oh, I thought it was like that. You asking, am I coming or not?
No, that wasn't it. It just told you that I couldn't
Oh,
do anything with it. But then I came back, you started working.
oh, yeah. I thought it was to say, are you coming? When I was still in another session at that time.
Wasn't that? I just felt bad. I couldn't let you know what was going on.
Oh, and you couldn't contact me at all. Huh? Oh,
I could contact. There was no way to contact you.
oh.
So that's why she called you. But anyway, then it turned out okay.
Yeah, I just came back in. I was done with the other one. Yeah, yeah.
No, it turned out fine. Because now I can see what's going on. But if something goes wrong, you could really fucking. So don't be surprised if something it's like all of a sudden they disappear.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but well, let's just do what we can do.
Yeah.
Because you're almost done anyhow, I think.
Yeah, I just really have a few more assignments and then I'm done with them.
Yeah. All right, so where'd we leave off?
I think last time you stopped at my second resource, but you can go over that part again. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I finished my third resource yesterday night.
Is this page 6?
See. This is page 6. The second resource.
Yeah, the second resource I used is called parental language. That one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, second resource I used is called Parental Language and Learning Directed to the Young Child, written by Dina. It also connects to what I saw during my for my observation of Johnny. And this article said, this article says, that it's important to note that parent-child development both by helping children skills and by developing the motivation necessary for learning and achievement in general. I saw how Johnny learns new words when an adult is reading a book to him and he's listening to the stories. Adult. I'll read a book to him. That's fun. The third resource I used is, we don't need to say it's called, just say is. The third resource I used is spiritually responsive education, care, nurturing infants and toddlers. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. I saw this article, and the one quote this article connects. There's no reason to put I so much.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can avoid it. Sounds more professional if you avoid the I. In this article, yeah, we don't need.
Yes.
Hang on, I'm thinking. This article. Nope, I'm not. Let's just start with. This article connects. This article connects with my observations. Johnny, when it says, then we get a whole bunch of words out of here. So we're not so repetitive. This article connects with my observation of Johnny when it says, quote, our extended learning period is precisely what enables us to construct the cultural building blocks of communication skills that produce extraordinary human achievement. Johnny's mom mentions that she wants both her daughter and son to learn Spanish. I mentioned earlier that my coworker had asked Johnny's mom if she wanted her to speak to him in Spanish to help him learn some more Spanish words in the classroom. Okay, to Spanish. Let's just move it a little bit. If she wanted her to speak to him in Spanish in the classrooms to help him learn some Spanish words. Take it out of the last little piece there. Okay. I mentioned she. Okay, so just thinking about the connection
All right, yes.
Hang on. This article. Next with my observation, Johnny. So explain to me how it connects. Third resource.
Uh, um, I think what I was trying to so-called from this little thing I have here, um, is about the communicators or extended learning period. I think is that there in like with my inside the classroom there is there they are able to learn their little language, their little Spanish, but not all the teachers know Spanish to really communicate
Okay.
to him in Spanish, even though if they do know, it's not just like very simple phrases, or like they might have forgotten the phrases. They would know some of the teachers may know only some of the phrases to communicate, and then
Okay.
the ones that do can communicate won't really be in the classroom all the time. They'll be in there in the classroom later, or sometimes yeah, not sometimes won't really be there all the time. Yeah. Some of those teachers.
Okay.
Yeah. To really communicate with the kid. Won't be exposed to that much of the Spanish in the classroom.
So, but Johnny, but your coworker would speak to Johnny Spanish, right?
Yeah, even so, yeah, she will, but not all the time. Like recently, I haven't really heard her
But
speak.
that's how it connects to the quotation.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here for this one. Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say to make it connect to it. Is really that there is teacher that can speak their language, their Spanish. It's just not, they won't really be there all the time in the classroom. Not there all the time.
We're gonna Miller says that we're gonna move this. It's not. Okay. Miller says that, okay, our extended learning periods were such that would enable us to construct a cultural and okay. Is it you're not showing the connection very well? That's
Oh,
right.
how about the second one? Is that okay? The second.
Well, hang on. Let me do this. And
Okay.
then we'll go back. Third resource I used is blah, 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 written by Miller says that. Then we have the quote.
The quote is so-called within a quote.
Yes. Finish. And my coworker asked John's mom Spanish. Okay, hang on. This extra, but it's not all the time, you said, right? It's coworker.
Yeah. I've been hearing mostly English recently,
Okay.
but they will be speaking sometimes. For like to tell them to sit down and stuff.
Is part of the extended learning period that Miller, I guess, Miller mentions. Okay, you should read what I did and see if that makes sense.
Okay. For the third one, right?
The third resource I used.
This one. Yeah, okay. Maybe they want to delete the hyphen.
Right. Oh, shoot. Johnny's mom had mentioned that she wants both her daughter and son to learn Spanish, and my coworker had asked Johnny's mom earlier at one point. Coworker at one point asked Johnny's mom she wanted her to speak to him in Spanish in the classroom to help him learn. So this occasional extra Spanish benefits Johnny and is part of the extended learning period. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it is. So I'm just trying to make it clear what the connection is.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Okay?
Mhm.
Finding classroom interaction with children. Children are at all different stages of developing their language skills, which can also be seen as both a challenge and a lesson. It can be seen as a challenge if the child is not really interacting with the story, making it seem like the child has a delay in language development. But it not interacting with the story, making it seem like not really a language, only a language. If child still using their language just in other ways, such as they're still listening to the story. If they are just not talking during story time, might be a skill that still be used. They're still listening to the story, and if they're just, but if they're They're still listening to the story, but if they are just not talking to the story, not. But if they're just not talking to it, okay. The lesson being learned is that children can interact with books differently. Some children might not really like to listen to books. That's a fragment. The lesson being learned is that children can interact with books differently. I think we just need to connect these sentences. Is that right?
Yeah, okay, we can, yes.
Okay. That's usually what the problem is. Nope. That's right. The lesson being learned is that children can interact with books differently, since some children might not really like to listen to books. Lesson being learned is that children different. Example. So the reason that some children might not like to listen to books is because not all parents are able to reach children after work.
From that, not really. It's just maybe they might just not want to really listen.
Oh, wait, let's do it this way. For example, some children might not really like to listen to books because not all parents are able to read to their children after work. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Okay. Even if the kids aren't interacting with books and aren't really interested in books, doesn't mean they don't like to listen to books. It doesn't mean they don't like to listen to books. We read to them, right?
Yeah.
Reading to children, according to what I saw. Okay, let's do the first improvement. Move this around. Edit. Cut. A little clearer. Okay. And we're going to say from.
Okay. Yes.
To. This means a different thing. From what I saw during from what I saw during my observation of Johnny, reading to children does help developing, does help them develop their language skills. Let's look at this again. The lesson being learned is that children can interact with books differently. For example, some children might not really like to listen to books because not all parents are able to read to their children after work. Even if the kids aren't interested in books and aren't really interested in books, it doesn't mean they don't like to listen. Let's do a however here. However, even if the kids aren't interacting with books and aren't really interested in books, it doesn't mean they don't like to listen to books being read to them. Doesn't mean that they don't like to listen to books when they are. It doesn't mean they don't like to listen to books when they are read to them. From what I saw during my observation of Johnny, reading to children does help them develop their language skills. Okay. We'll maybe do, for example, from what I saw during my observation of Johnny, reading to children does help them develop their language skills. Okay, is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Children's interaction with parents, caregivers, family factors. There are several specific family factors that help me understand Johnny's interaction with his caregivers, who are his family and teachers. Johnny's mom, a preschool teacher at CPS, often engages in bilingual reading sessions with him, where she alternates between English and Spanish. She also mentioned that Johnny appears less interested in Spanish storybooks, but occasionally translate parts to help him learn. Does she occasionally?
Yeah.
She also mentioned that Johnny appears less interested in Spanish storybooks, but she occasionally translates parts to help him learn the language. Johnny's mother wants his sister to learn Spanish as well, so they can both communicate together in that language. So who's the both?
The sister and the brother.
Okay. Sister to learn Spanish as well. Johnny's mother wants his sister to learn Spanish, so they can both communicate together. That's fine. However, Johnny's father exclusively communicates with him in English. All right. Voice tone of readers during videos. Johnny's mom was reading Llama Llama Home with Mama during bedtime. She read the book in her teacher's voice, and she sounded calm. Johnny's sister's voice was loud, and it seemed like she didn't want to read. So she rushed through a different book, Llama Llama Red Pajama. Yep. Love those titles. She did, however, care enough to go back to one page to see if she had missed a word from the previous page. She did care. She should have cared enough to go back. So it was one particular page?
It's just that one sentence that she went back.
All right. To see if she had missed a word from the previous page. Johnny's teachers mainly spoke to him in English. After my conversation with his mother, my coworker asked if Johnny's mother wanted her to speak to him in Spanish also. I might make this a separate paragraph.
Okay.
Just because I don't see how it's different. Johnny's teacher, after my conversation with his mother, my coworker asked, his mother wanted to speak. My coworker read the story. She spoke in a normal, calm teacher's voice in English only. She didn't translate the English to Spanish when reading Johnny the books with animal sounds. He didn't translate. So even though the coworker asked if Johnny's mother wanted her to speak to him in Spanish,
Yes.
when she read, she didn't translate the English to Spanish.
So just I'm like when she read it, it was before. I took that video before she even talked to her about like if she wanted to say it. So yeah.
Do we need to say?
We can mention that
earlier.
Yeah, we can say that. Yeah.
Okay. However, earlier, when my coworker read the book Johnny, she spoke in normal, calm teachers. She spoke in a normal, calm teacher's voice in English only. She didn't translate to English. At that time, didn't translate the English to Spanish when reading Johnny. Okay. But she did later on read to him in Spanish, right?
No.
She asked, "Do you want me to read to Spanish?" Right?
There's not really reading in Spanish, but it's really just talking to him in Spanish kind of stuff. But talking to him in Spanish, more of that. Not really reading into him in Spanish. It's really just like talking to him in like more Spanish words.
Okay. Comparing and contrasting John's family to another family. The major similarity between the children in these two families is that they like to read books and would choose books for the teachers to read to them at the daycare. The difference between Johnny's mom and the other family. Difference between Johnny's mom and the other family. You've observed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're just thinking in the past.
I think this paper still so-called is kind of ish the past, but no.
All right, so I'm changing the have to. So I assume you did eventually observe the other family, right?
Yeah.
The difference between Johnny's mom and the other family I had not then observed. The difference between Johnny's mom and the other family I had not then observed. Not at that point. Not at that point observed. Difference between Johnny's mom and the other family observed is that Johnny's mom agreed to be observed before I was even able to ask the other parents if I could do an observation. When I asked the other family about the preschooler observation, the mother had to ask the father if it was okay for me to observe the child. So, since I had not, so wait a minute, have you observed the kid?
But this so-called paper was so-called before I even did anything with that other kid, so this was before.
All right, we got to change this tense though. It sounds like you still have it. And you have, right?
I have, but I think that the so-called for this paper is before it, so yeah.
I'm going to go past tense here. So, since I had not yet observed preschool, I don't know if I'm doing this wrong. You need to tell me. So, since I had not yet observed it, I'm not that sure if the other family parents read to their children at home. I haven't really had, so it sounds like you still haven't.
No.
Have you had a chance to talk to the other parents?
Yes, but I think, I should choose. Yeah, you can change it. Yeah, change it.
Okay, good. So otherwise you'll never have a chance. We're at the end of the semester. And really had a chance. Okay. Had a chance to talk to the parents since they close their brush to drop off the pickup. Plus their older son has to be picked up. Patient. Had a chance to talk. The truth, the older son was also in my toddler classroom and is now in the preschool class. Their youngest son is currently in my toddler class. Both of their sons like to read books, talk a lot, and are very knowledgeable. The preschooler mentioned here will be the one I observed. Okay. So here we are. We're in April, the end of April. Preschooler mentioned here one I observe is the one I observed for the preschool observation paper. The end of April. Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
So I'm writing this with the assumption that you have observed this preschooler.
I turned in the paper too already, so yeah.
What?
I turned it in already to the paper.
You already did turn it in. Okay, yeah. So that way you have to change it. sharing feedback. I learned sharing feedback with parents and caregivers can help parents discover other books their children read. For example, I think it would be helpful for Johnny if the stories being read had both Spanish and English on each page. Johnny's mother wants Spanish, which she believes will be helpful for them. I like how Johnny's sister is learning Spanish again to help her younger brother learn Spanish. It's true that the younger generations are slowly losing their native or languages and are speaking more English. That is what they will be exposed to at school and in jobs. It's not good to only know one language. Learning more than one language can help better jobs and give others more. Summary of content learned. One of the main points I learned from this assignment is how children interact with their book differently when they are with their family members at home rather than when they are with their teachers in the classroom. The second main point I learned from this assignment is that children are always learning words and getting more knowledge from books. The third main point I learned from this assignment is that it's okay to have different students who are observing toddlers. I found that it's important to have books that match the interest of the child who's being read to so that the child can both react and interact with the book and adults. Okay. Reflection questions. After doing this assignment, I have two questions. First, is it really okay when a child doesn't express all 5 aspects of language knowledge? Second, why is it hard to distinguish the 5 aspects of language knowledge? It seems strange since all 5 aspects are connected and can be similar to each other in some ways. Message. Okay, reflection of the storybook observation. While writing this paper, I learned more about the 5 aspects of language knowledge, both from watching the videos and from the extra online research I explored. However, this paper was a struggle because the explanation of the 5 aspects was confusing, making it difficult to take ideas and notes from the video. Making it difficult to take ideas and notes from the videos. After doing the observation and writing this paper, I feel that I understand even more about the importance of reading to children. I have learned that when reading to a child of any age, it's very important to change the tone of your voice and replicate the sounds shown in the book. Replicate any of sounds that might be okay. Change the tone of your voice and replicate any of the sounds that might be shown in the book. Shown, be described. Shown is what you look at. I don't know, so it's described. So you're saying like ring or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And sound. Also important to okay?
Yeah.
Child can understand. It's also one of the good things about 2 videos taken by Johnny's mom at home, they show most of the 5 aspects of language. Another good thing I saw in the videos is the books Johnny's mom read videos. I saw the videos. Books Johnny's mom read. Another good thing I saw in the videos is the books Johnny's mom read are animal books, which seem to appeal to children. The books included in the videos are books Johnny liked to read at home and at school by himself and with family members or teachers. The bad thing about the videos is the same book was not used for all 4 videos. Why is that bad?
Was it bad?
Mm-hmm.
I'm at, um, I think like the bad thing kind of is just it's not the same book. Even though I did get some of those what I needed from the different books.
Okay.
I think it would have been better if it was the same book kind of idea like that.
Okay. Because it's hard to compare.
It was already kind of hard and easy to compare with all these different books and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that 4th video of him just flipping through it. He didn't say anything when he was looking at it, but it was just that the topic was the same of the books. It's just the what's inside of the book. The topic is all animals for all 4 books and all 4
Okay.
videos. It's just it was not like all about the same little llama or something like that.
Okay.
It was the 2 was about a llama, and then one's like about a zoo, and then one is about another set of animals at the zoo maybe, or like a farm. Yeah, they were all over the place.
All right, so here we go. The bad thing about the videos is the same book was not used for all 4 videos, so it can be hard. So it was hard. So it was hard to compare children's language skills. Is that right?
Yeah.
Child's. We're talking about one kid here, right?
Yeah, that Johnny.
Yeah. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Child's language skills. Okay. Challenges and how I will face these challenges. Understanding the 5 aspects of language knowledge remains a challenge for me. These 5 aspects are all connected, and I need to understand one in order to understand the rest, so that I can understand the development of language in a child. I also struggled with these 5 aspects of language knowledge when I took TESOL 301. It has been, let's say, helpful. It has been helpful. It has been helpful to have a refresher on them in this class. Another challenge for my observations is being able to distinguish phonemes. The observation I'll be doing for preschoolers concerns their language skills and is based on their activities and the interactions between their classmates and teachers. This observation will be based on notes instead of a video, which could be kind of hard for me because if I don't start typing the paper until a few days after the observation, even with notes, I might forget some of the detail. Okay. This observation is based on notes. Start typing the paper until a few days after the observation. Okay. I will face this challenge by trying my best to type the notes I took on the day of the observation so that the ideas are fresh in my mind. After I read a chapter, I will do the same for the ideas. Yep. Okay, good. We're good. Okay.
Can you go back to see if the first resource and the second one? If it connects with that, whatever what I have there. Page 6.
What?
The 6. Page 6.
6. Oh yeah. So that'd be right after relating the 3 current resources.
Yeah.
As mentioned earlier, John was pointing at the pages of the book and sounding out sounds he heard. First resource I used is the textbook. First I used is the textbook, which mentions sociocultural theory, which connects to what I saw during my observation of John. Chapter 2 of the textbook says, quote, primary role of social interaction and language development is based on the observation that children acquire an awareness of specific communicative functions or intentions, such as indicating, requesting, labeling, before they're able to express themselves linguistically. From what I saw in the videos of Johnny during story time, all I saw in videos of story time, he's aware of what a humming sound is, and how to make it himself. And he's also able to distinguish the sound a phone makes just by looking. But, yes. I saw in the videos. Taking a shot. When I saw the videos taking a shot, where stuff. Phone makes just second resource I use. Circle system. Okay, right? This is good. Okay, I think we're good. Anything else?
I I think that should be all. Yeah.
All right, so you're done with this paper?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There's like two more to go. Two more papers to finish.
You have two more? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to be here next week, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if you will need help a week from Monday? That's finals week.
Yeah, I know that last one. That week I don't think I'm not sure would I still finish everything like with these missing assignment stuff. So I'm not sure.
Do you want me to assume that I may see you on a week from Monday?
Yeah, I might see you. I might see you.
Because Christine is trying to figure out my schedule for that.
Yeah, I might see you that one Monday. I know
Okay,
that
that's fine.
Wednesday we have that in the school, the semester little party in the
Yeah.
in the library basement. The second.
Right. So I'm assuming on that we're not gonna have work on Wednesday, but Monday maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe I will see you on
All
that
right.
Monday.
So you'll let me know next week.
Yeah.
I'm planning to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So I'll see you on Monday.
Yes. Thank you.
Sure. Absolutely.
Thank
Take it
you.
easy.
Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.